Thank you so much to Kowkis Toys for sending me this new HIYA toy skull crawler to review for you guys. Alright, after a while of messing with this figure on my live stream and just overall having fun with it, I gotta say, this figure is pretty good. It's not perfect though, I do have some complaints, but overall this is another solid release by HIYA Toys. Let's check it out. One thing I really like about this figure is the amazing paint detail. I don't know if you can see, but if you look real carefully, the eye of the figure is right there, and I think that looks sick. I don't know how they were able to capture that. Another thing I really like is the awesome paint throughout the figure. There's so many different shades of brown, red, orange, yellow. Like, I don't know how they do it, but they do it, and they just make it look so nice. And I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but one thing I like about this figure is how moist and shiny it looks. Like, it looks slimy and gross, like a reptile. And that goes throughout the figure, even in the bottom of the figure as well, where you can see like the fleshy parts. And again, that paint detail is just really, really sick. Let's get a closer look at that. The paint is so good, man. You can even see the red inside the joints right here, and even in the bottom of the feet as well. I think there's even a bit of like black shading throughout as well. HIYA Toys really does well when it comes to paint and sculpted detail, in my opinion. Speaking of the paint and detail, there's even paint and detail inside the mouth, and that looks so well done. You can see the little teeth in there, and even like the gums of the monster. Look at that, and look at the sculpted detail and paint on the tongue. Like, how are they able to do that? If you're wondering, the tongue is a bit articulated as well. If you push up too far, the ball joint will pop out, but you can't articulate like that, but you can't articulate the tongue. Just be careful. But yeah, guys, just look at the teeth. I also like the yellow and green they had in there. Like, the teeth don't look clean because it's not supposed to look clean. That looks so nasty and so freaky. I love it. Overall, like I said, the paint detail on this guy is just outstanding. This might be their best painted figure. And if you look carefully, there isn't that much paint on the tail, but there are some red on the spikes of it though. And on the bottom of it as well. Again, HIYA Toys is not skipping out on any paint detail here. And for accessories, this figure only has one accessory, and that is this extra tongue. Now, if you look carefully, it's very different from the one that's on the figure. This one is split into multiple sections, and putting it on is really easy. Again, all you gotta do is just pop this tongue off because it's on a ball joint right there. And then you just line up the ball joints right there, and just pop it in like that. I will admit though, for some reason mine doesn't stay in that well. That also goes with another QC issue that I have with this figure, but it does pop in though. Just more or less just leave it the way it is. But yeah, I don't know, I would think the ball joint might be like maybe broken or something, I don't know. But if it's supposed to be that way, let me know in the comments, but it doesn't stay in that well though, so hopefully that's just my copy and not everyone else's copy, but the extra tongue is there though. Speaking of QC issues, I do have one major one, and it's not the worst thing ever, but it does suck. Now the issue is the right leg on this figure pops off really easy, so literally all I do is just give it a light tug and it pops out. Now it's not broken, as you can see, because the ball peg is still there, and it does go into the socket, so it's not broken. But unfortunately, every time I plug it in, like, it does go in, but it's not the best fit, and every time I articulate it, I run the risk of it popping out, as you guys can see right there. But again, not the worst issue ever. I think I could fix this, but unfortunately it is an issue. But even with that one complaint, I'm still able to get into some good poses. Now, I will admit one thing, I did accidentally drop this when I was doing my live unboxing, but even still out the box, I did realize there was something up with the right leg. So maybe it dropping had an effect on it, I don't know. But ultimately, yes, unfortunately, the right leg does pop off, but it's not the worst thing ever because it's not broken, and on top of that, I can still articulate it though. Even with that issue aside, the articulation of this figure is really good. So for the neck slash head, it rotates all the way around with ease. You can get it to look down this much, look up that much. Obviously, you already know that the mouth opens up really wide, has the articulated tongue. You can move side to side like that. For the torso slash body, there really isn't much movement here, but for the tail part, it does rotate a bit. For the legs slash arms, obviously you can go up this much, go down, do a 360, bicep swivel right here, so that's really nice. Double jointed elbows, or I guess knees in this case. And for the feet, can go down, go up, side to side, and rotate. So I guess you could say it has a ankle swivel, I guess you could say. I don't know, would this be his arm or leg? Comment down below. And obviously the tail's on a ball joint, so it rotates, but this whole tail is on a bendy wire, which is really cool. So that way you can get into, again, any pose that you want. You left, right, up, down. It is really articulated. Now it's time for some size comparisons. Here's the Skullcrawler next to the HIYA Toys Kong and the HIYA Toys pre-evolved Godzilla figure. And this is him next to the SH Monster Arts Mecha Godzilla figure. And lastly, this is him next to the Playmates Kong and Scar King figure from Godzilla x Kong. Overall, I would say this is the best Skullcrawler figure and you should pick it up. The detail, the paint, and the sculpt is beautiful and the posability is fun too. Now let me show you where you can get this figure from. You can pick up this figure and much more at KowkisToy.com. If you decide to purchase this figure, please use my affiliate link in the description below. I will earn a commission from your order and that would help me out greatly. But that's not it because I have a coupon code for you guys. If you use this code on screen, you will receive 6% off your order. So what are you waiting for? Go check out KowkisToys.com to get some awesome action figures.